Live. All right. Welcome. This is the January 7th, 2025 Whitman Finance Committee meeting. This evening we have, I'm Mike Warner. I'm the vice chair. I'm in the room. We have Kathleen Otina. Our chair is on the phone, which welcome back, Kathleen.
Thank you, Mike.
We have Chuck Colby. We have Al Cafferty, we've got Jason Hunter, Ralph Mitchell, and Mike Andrews in the room. I have made it. I think so.
You are making
everybody's
progress.
name this time. All right. So we have a couple of things this evening that we want to go through, and we do have minutes of the 3rd, the 10th, and the 17th of December. That we can actually go through and vote on those. So we'll go past that. This evening we have the Recreation Committee here at 7:15. I have not seen any Whitman-Hanson Regional School District preliminary numbers yet. I know that that's been discussed. We had it penciled in. If we have them, we'll talk about them. Kathleen, I'm not sure if you've received anything.
No, I did reach out to Jeff Simonek and asked him actually for his comment or his reaction to the budget number that's sort of the placeholder on the fiscal 26 budget. And I'll chime in a little bit on that. But no, I have nothing in terms of numbers to share with you. But their business office has been shorthanded for quite some time. So it's taking due to illness and so forth. So there will be a public hearing in the beginning of February that I plan to attend, whether virtually or in person. And then they'll be presenting to us in March. But long before March, I'll have an analysis of the school budget to present to you folks so that you'll have a pretty good insight into what the schools are looking for. And hopefully it's consistent with what the current fiscal 26 balanced is that Mary Beth has prepared for us.
Good. Yeah, I mean, this was a hope we'd have some early stuff, but again, we're not. It really depends upon where they are. So,
yep.
Okay, with that, let's go ahead and try and get some of these minutes read off and passed, and then we can, as soon as the Recreation Committee gets here, we'll cut over to them, and if we need to, we can come back to do this other stuff. I'd love to be able to get them all out of the way and start the year nice and fresh. So looking at everybody should have a copy electronically or printed out. Elizabeth did that for us for December 3rd, 2024. So reach way back in your memories on this one. Take a look at this. We had 2 scheduled meetings that evening. We just had the one that was able to come in that evening. But please take a quick read through if you haven't already done so. And are there any corrections, additions, or retractions that we need to make to the December 3rd minutes? Hearing none, I'm going to look for a motion to accept as recorded.
Second.
Second by Ralph. And all in favor, please, because we're on recording here for our meeting tonight without Elizabeth, I'm just going to go right around, call your first name, and give you a yes or no, just so it's recorded properly. So, Chuck?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Mike?
Aye.
Yes.
Justin? Yes. Ralph? And Kathleen?
Abstain.
Thank you. And I am also a yes. So we are good on that one. Boom. All righty. The next one is December 10th. This was a really informative meeting. We had the fire chief here to discuss that evening. Again, everybody who is here, please take a look through on this to see if there are any corrections or changes. It really is just the fire chief's report.
Make a motion to accept that.
Okay, Mike's made a motion to accept. Ralph has seconded. All in favor. Let's go. Chuck?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Mike? Justin?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Abstain.
And Mike Warner is a yes, so that is 6:01.
And can I just add a comment to the 12:10 meeting? Because I did listen
Yes.
to it and take notes. It has to do with Ralph wanting to get reimbursed for his participation in the ATFC meeting. He and I have attended that meeting in previous years, and there's a $600 expense account for the Finance Committee, and that's where that money should come from, I believe. So if Ralph, if you haven't been reimbursed yet, I believe that's where the money should come
Well, I was
from.
waiting for your return so you'd also get reimbursed too, since we're the only ones that went to this.
Right.
I've been carrying the paperwork, so in case they want to see proof that we were there, and I even got a copy of my canceled check as proof,
Yeah.
so we can get reimbursed for this.
Yeah, I think it involves filling out a warrant and submitting it to the treasurer collector. Rick Anderson knows how to do this. I never learned from him how to do it. Didn't come up that often. But
Let me-
here's my-
I'll email Rick
Is this $600 present?
and
No.
CC both of you, Kathleen and Ralph, so that how to reimbursement works.
Great.
Okay, yeah, I had no idea either, so,
Yeah, 60-day terms.
yeah.
It's just submitted.
Okay, December 17th, 2024.
Maybe it's out that day, huh?
This one, so this one, we actually had a very small attendance. Myself, Mike Flanagan, Ralph Mitchell. That was it.
Is it a quorum, no?
We didn't
So,
have a quorum. We had the Boy Scouts here that
yeah,
night.
they came to observe for their merit badge. They have to see, the workings of the government.
Nobody's there.
Yeah,
They learned well.
Not perfect.
yeah. So, but
Everybody's sick.
We're all
Before
working remotely.
yeah. Well, but on the plus side, we were not able to take any action that evening. Although technically we didn't have any action. We were listening to both the building department, inspection services, and the assessor's office, who were both very pronto and on the spot with their information. So that was great.
Yep.
So, all right. Anything that people want to again add, adjust, etc. on that one? All righty. Do we have a seeing none? I said we have a motion to accept.
A motion to accept as written,
Yeah, as written.
December 17th.
I'll second that one.
Okay, so that's Chuck and Ralph as second. In this case, yeah, it's Mike Flanagan is not present this evening, so Ralph,
Yes.
I will say yes, and I am going to accept abstains from Kathleen, Chuck, Jason, and Al, because you were not present. Is that
Okay.
fair with everybody?
That's correct.
And very fair.
That's a.
And myself. Mike.
Did I say Mike? Oh, yeah. No, you didn't even. Oh, there's a correction. I'll make right there. All right. All right, so that's a 206. Okay. 205, actually. All right, great. That gets us caught up on those. Back to looking at the agenda. So reserve fund, we haven't touched it yet. 35,000 is still there. That's again been confirmed. New business this evening is
She's out
the
there.
recreation.
She's out there.
Yeah, she's out there, yep.
Is she?
Yep. Oh, yeah, Kathleen out there.
Right in. Okay. We'll have to wait.
This space will be out of here by 9 o'clock.
Oh, you're so good to me.
Feel free to sit with us.
Right
Yeah,
here?
right.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh,
Right in the hot
I'm gonna
seat.
be Right in the.
Oh, this is like your third year. You should
Yeah,
know.
you know.
I
that by
should
now.
know this by now. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not.
I'll
We've
take
all had
my
our
seat
shots.
around.
Everything's good. You
Hi,
alone
everybody.
tonight?
Thank you so much. Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, too.
Thank you.
Just so you know, we have Kathleen Otina, who's on the cell phone with us right
Okay.
now. So.
Hi.
Hi, Kathleen. Good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Thanks for having us. Well, me, I should say.
Yeah,
I'm in
it's
the
usually
recreation
us.
department, I know. Our wonderful Michelle Lamatina she has moved on to other adventures, and we will
Oh,
miss her greatly.
Oh, yeah.
She was our chairperson. So now we are in the process of reorganizing our recreation commission.
Okay, yeah.
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have that organized a little bit more. But grateful for the rec commission people who are on, and we hopefully are getting a couple more people to join us, which will be wonderful.
Very good.
So yes, we're grateful for Michelle and all of her guidance. She was definitely the behind the scenes person who organized all of it. So I am
Yeah.
truly grateful for her. She's been with me since I started, a few years ago.
Absolutely.
Ooh, that 2020 year,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we try to forget about.
The recreation was in
So
the
we
home,
went.
wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
we didn't have any, and
Yeah.
then that first summer that we came back was like everybody was so glad to be back, and we, with her help, truly, we were able to create an amazing program for the park and the pool, based on her knowledge of working with people as well as her great connections with all of the other people in here. We worked with the health department and everybody to really create a positive experience
Yeah,
for
is
the
Just for
kids.
Whitman
So
Day.
this was for the park program, the park and the pool program. The year that we were able to come back in 2021, we had to come in with. We were outside, but we had a whole bunch of restrictions placed upon us in terms of having the program be successful as well as safe. So she was one of the great people who certainly had a vision and was able to, between the two of us, be able to take care of making sure that.
Yeah, you guys kept it breathing and then revitalized it once things.
Yes,
got
because
better.
like the pool hadn't been open, so that was a huge expense
Yeah.
too, because the pool hadn't been open for over a year, and then it came open. And obviously, if you have pools, you know what it looks like when you haven't opened it for the summer or one season, let alone 2 seasons going by. So that was a big adjustment. Grateful for the pool company that helped us, and they've continued to help. It's been the same pool company that's been helping us. So. Yeah, so she was definitely the brains behind a lot of the things in the organization, which is I am so grateful for. So carrying on her traditions, we'll certainly have a fabulous 4th of July event, as well as our spring egg hunt, which is our 2 highlights of the year for community involvement. And then during the summertime, we run the pool and we run the park program.
Yeah, which have been very successful.
Yes, very successful. Yes.
Yeah, and just-
We've had I had 15 pool staff last year and 24 park staff, all fabulous, and the majority of them want to come back. Yay!
Good, yeah.
That's a huge thing for us.
Yeah,
Yes,
my question
we
was
have
going
a
to be,
great
were you
time.
able to hold on to them?
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
great.
And there's a lot of them who have come back who are in college, and they've even come back after they've graduated from college.
Yeah.
So Gabby Callahan and Angie Pulio, who were the directors, and Cam Hilton, who is the director, the pool director, they've all graduated from college, are all out in the workforce, and they come back. So it's been wonderful.
Question: do you
Sure.
think? I mean, I know we were trying to bump up everybody's pay to make it competitive. Did more money help?
Yes.
That?
Well, we had to. With that, we increased. We went to minimum. We went to minimum wage, and then the people who had been at minimum wage or lower than minimum wage, we bumped them up, but then had to give them. I don't know, what do you call it, gratuity or cost
of living,
like if they came in and they were getting $15 an hour,
Incremental
like
raise.
yes, because they had worked there
for a
for
while.
Yeah.
a certain amount of
Yeah,
years. So
seniority kind of.
thank you. That's
There
the
it
word
is.
I was looking
Yep.
for. So yes, so that's been fine.
That's good. That
We're
keeps
pretty
everything stable.
we're pretty competitive in terms of other areas, and they
Yeah.
they come back.
Yeah.
But each year, do they continue to accrue more?
Yes, with the
Because of
Recreation
time.
Commission, we've increased their salaries either 50 cents or depending on what their status is. If they have certifications like the lifeguard certification, water safety instructor, we try to keep them competitive. It's getting difficult. Like if you go to other recreation places, they pay more.
Yeah.
Camp counselors get paid more. We have a great system. Like they work 8:30 to 3:30. Monday through Friday, so they love it because if they want to have another job off or on the weekends, they certainly can. So, and a lot of them do. You know, they're high school,
Places pay
college
more,
kids.
They expect more.
Yes, and they're longer
Yeah,
hours.
back,
Yes,
yeah, it works
exactly.
better. That's
Right.
why you have a good group coming back.
We do.
You know.
Grateful for that.
Yeah.
That's very
Yes.
positive.
That's good.
Absolutely.
How many kids do you typically serve throughout the summer?
We averaged, I was writing all my stats down. We averaged about 85 students, I'm a teacher as well, kids for the park program, and it runs, the kids are 5 years old up to 12.
Is
So
that for an
first
entire
grade,
day, or is that,
they come 9 to 3, and they come for a week.
okay?
And then they could keep coming for as many weeks as they wanted to come. We tried our best, and we still one of our goals is to make sure that it's affordable. We were grateful to have a few people donate to our scholarship fund, I guess you can call it, so that we were able to give some people a reduced or free tuition or fee to the park program, which definitely helped out a lot of people. So we were able to give, along with, we had other scholarships that came in from other places, and they sponsored kids to come. So we were able to give 6 kids about 6 weeks of worth of camp, which was nice.
Yeah.
How many passes are sold? Do you know that? Like, I see that you can buy a swim.
You can buy a swim pass. Yes,
Yeah.
you can buy a swim pass. And this past year, we probably sold about 80. That's not a high, I guess in the previous years before COVID and years before that, it was, they sold over 100, 150. So it's gone down, but our daily income, because people can come to use the pool during the day, and it's like $5 a person, capped at 25 for a family. So people came and they paid cash, or they used the credit card system. So we were fortunate with that. So we didn't sell as many passes, but we did make up on the daily.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to convince people to come up with $140. And then if they know that they're not going to use it, it's hard to figure out, am I going to be able to use it? Because we were open mid-June through Labor Day, which is fabulous. It's just one of the things that the town wanted, and we were able to have that happen. So we were glad.
Is the pool pass per person? Is it 100 per person, or is it 140 for the family?
Yes, it was for the family.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was a family of 6, of up to 6 people.
Yeah.
So if you priced it out, if you came, 3 or 4 times a week, or even 2 times a week, it would be very cost effective. But it's hard sometimes to come up with that. So we've really tried to keep prices for it reasonable as we can, in terms of trying to keep up with also the cost of paying the staff too.
Well, I know the YMCA is. My wife was doing that. I think it was $65 a month. But that's one person.
Mm-hmm.
So you go
Right.
2 or 3 kids, you've already exceeded what we're charging. So yeah, it makes it very competitive with that.
Yeah, and keeping it open to Labor Day, because it always used to close third week of August.
Yes, and that was because we had staff that went back to college, but the staff that we have are high school kids, or they go to school, they go to college locally, so they were able to stay with it,
Yeah,
which is
but-
great.
But it's still hot.
It is still
It's still
very
hot.
hot in August. Yes, absolutely.
My son worked there.
Did he?
Yeah,
Good.
good time.
Yes, it is fun.
He's in college.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's great.
So, do you have any questions for me, or what would you like me to?
Any
Share.
changes that you have for, you've got several line items that come underneath the Recreation Committee. Any changes that you have there, or places that you feel might be
Well,
challenged?
when Mary Beth asked me to give a level funded budget, so I've
pretty
given
much
her a
that.
level funded budget. She was able to give us at the very end of last year. She was able to give us a couple more $1,000 for expenses, which is very helpful because, as you all know, electricity increases, pool chemicals increase, pool maintenance increases. It's you're looking at a pool that needs a lot of maintenance due to its age. So it's only going to be more challenging as the years go on as to what is going to be needed. We have a great pool company that is taking great care of it, but they did tell me that in order to be ADA compliant, we have to have the lift that goes up and down, and that is in need of replacement. Jim was looking into the varying costs, trying to find out the best cost option. So that is a cost that we will have to incur probably this summer. So as I was looking at the expenses from just the last few months, to close the pool was $3,680. So, and then at the beginning of the year, it was about $5,000 to open it, as well as chemicals. So there you have almost the entire expense line, which is going directly to the pool. And we've also had other issues. We had trauma services that we had to have come to the pool to take care of some challenging things in the bathroom. We also had a huge bill last year, not last year, but the year before, for electrical. We had a huge electrical issue. So those kinds of things happen. We can't really plan for them, I guess. It's a hard thing to know what's going to happen. But the T&D Pool Company is very capable and is, letting me know ahead of time, well, you think you're going to have to replace this. They just replaced the chlorine pump last summer. So we had that.
That's the pool cover. We spent like 10 grand
The
on
pool
it.
cover is fabulous.
Yeah.
It's doing great. Yeah. Yes, that's doing very well.
What's the age of the pool itself?
It was built in the 60s. 60.
Yeah, it had
It's 60 years old.
Yeah, I mean, it's had a couple of refurbishments, but
Yes.
it's still,
When they were building pools.
Yeah.
That's what was building.
Question, revolving fund, how's
Yes.
your balance there?
We're doing great with that. So that's the reason why I think some of the things that we're able to afford, we're doing well with that. My last statement was I have $34,000 in it. So if there's need for, that would take care of our supplies for the park program. Take care of uniforms. The T-shirts and stuff for the staff. Those types of things. So as well as potentially pool supplies, if needed, or pool maintenance if needed as well. That's what we've had to tap into when we've had to pay for the other expenses that have come up.
Remind me, what's the limit, the max on yours, on that revolving account that you can go up to? Do you remember?
No, it changed for me because
It went
it kind of it did come higher. I don't have that written down. It did go higher based on the fact that we have money coming in, but the money goes right back out. So you have your pool passes and your fees for the park and the park program and the swimming lessons, and then it goes right back out to pay for the supplies. And
I know
salaries.
I remember they did raise it. I don't know. I want to say, what is it, as high as 50
I
or
think
70?
It was something like
it went
I
from
thought it'd be even
25 to
higher.
50.
Yeah, maybe 75. I don't know. But we could look at the last year's town meeting. I guess another question is that amount where it is now? Is that like a kind of what you found as a good point at this point in the season? This is like starting off as you get it ready to go. Having that 34 left in there, is that a typical amount this time of year? Or?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so it's okay. All right, thanks.
Sure.
it might be worth looking at talking with your pool vendor,
Okay.
trying to find, what do you need over the next, say, 4 to 5 years? Right? If we had all the money in the world,
Yeah.
what would you, right? And I know from a town budgeting perspective, if we could get that kind of a 5-year plan listed out, maybe we can put in articles that would amortize the cost rather than coming in and saying we need $20,000 this year. It's give us $5,000 over the next 4 years, which is easier to
Okay.
fit into the budget.
Yeah, dedicating it towards
Right, we're going to put it aside
the known,
this year.
The known issues that are going to be cropping up,
Yeah,
especially on something that old.
yeah. My fear is you'll get to a year that, you'll need to do some major replacement. At the same time, we
concerned
need
about that.
3 police
Yeah.
cars, 2 fire engines,
Right,
and it's
yes.
like, you know,
Yeah.
whereas if we can get a little bit put aside for you now, that would hopefully take the pain out of that for the taxpayers as well.
Yeah, I absolutely can. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I had talked to him in terms of like planning for like this next year, but you're right, planning for the next few years
Yeah.
because he's the person who would be able to say, oh, this is a lifetime of, this is your life of the pH, the pH pump, or this is your lifetime. We did switch over the sand cleaning that
Nitrogen
washes.
syrup.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we did do that last year, so that's going to be good for a few years.
You guys use it for a vendor?
T&D Pool Company.
Is that?
Jim Collins, T&D Pool Company.
Yeah, sounds like you got a good relationship with them, so they.
Yes, he
Yeah.
comes, like, we've had issues, chlorine issues, or the pump doesn't work, and I call him, and he's, there. So
Yeah.
he's been absolutely fabulous.
Right.
Have you been able to utilize the new facilities manager at all lately? Have you had?
I haven't needed it yet.
Okay.
Usually it comes when
Yeah.
right when things first start getting opened up. So
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't needed that
Because
just
he's always
yet.
out there. Oh, he's doing his thing.
Yes, for sure. No, he's been very helpful, and the new fence that went up is great. That whole new setup, we're trying to make it more secure, which has been a wonderful thing as well. Because the new fence went up as well as new doors, new door locks, and that's been helpful. Also have the cameras that were monitored by the police department, but they were just like the Ring doorbell ones. I know eventually there'll be cameras in the park to help us out, because that did help find people who had vandalized the fence and who had gone in and vandalized the inside of the pool. So the fence has been a little bit of a deterrent, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Good.
Any other questions or comments? No? All righty.
All right, wonderful.
thank you so
Thank you so much.
Keep
Much
doing a good
appreciated.
job.
All right,
All right.
we love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes. Good luck
more
filling
fun.
your spots.
I know. Thank you. We have some wonderful people on now, so
What are
which
you
is
looking
very
for?
helpful. Well, since Michelle left, we have to
Go to
do
chairman,
our.
right?
Yeah, so we need
Couple of members open,
another.
right? Couple of positions.
Yes. So every 3 years. So Michelle's term was up actually this coming year. So, yes, we need some more people. But we have 4 wonderful people, so we just need 2 more, which would be great. Yeah.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Much appreciated.
you.
All right. Thanks so much.
Good night.
You too.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Any other closing thoughts on?
My son enjoyed working there, so
Yep.
you know,
I walked by it.
he was 20. He was,
Every
20, he was,
day.
he was 21. He
Yeah.
was tired.
Yeah, I walked my son
Yeah.
by. We went down there. It looks good.
Yeah.
It seemed to be always packed during the summer.
Yeah, it's good for the town to be able to offer that. You never want to cut something like that when money gets tight. It's good.
He uses it 2 weeks a year. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Offloader at 9 a.m.
yeah.
This afternoon.
It's great.
Yep.
It really is. And my kids, when they were little, they did the swimming lessons there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's what she loves to swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's an important skill too.
Oh yeah.
You-
Oh, swimming?
It's very
Oh,
diverse
absolutely.
down there.
Yeah.
I have friends who to this day can't swim, and they're terrified. It's what do I do? I can't even go in the pool with my kids or my grandkids because I go to the bottom like a rock. This one particular guy says, and I'm like, well, had you been in Whitman, maybe you would have been able to take lessons and you'd be okay. But
Yeah. Yeah. In my eyes, it's money well dedicated for
yeah,
the people of the town to.
Yeah, I
You get some
recall
good
when I
benefit.
went up. I was taught in a pool like that to swim.
Yeah. Yep.
You know.
It's packed. I mean, they do 85 a week or 85 throughout the summer.
Throughout the
she said
summer.
80
That's for $5 a day, though,
was
right?
for the.
Yeah, you can still, well,
Well, that's the swim program.
That-
The 85 is the swim program.
So 80 was how many she sold of the
the
personal pass.
80
passes.
right.
Yeah.
But if you walked in there during the day,
Yeah, if you don't have a pass, if you don't buy your
$5
annual
or
pass,
It's
when you go
$5
in, you
per
can
pass.
pay, you
Five
know,
to 25.
five to
Yep,
25.
for the
Yeah.
fam, yeah.
So-
I was wondering because I always read that as I take my walk, and I'm like, I wonder how well they
Yeah.
do with that.
Yeah.
You know, because me and my wife were like, we should get one. We always walk by there though, and it's so packed that we're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
where are we gonna
where
go?
we gonna- yeah.
Like it's it's just like at some point when we walk by, I'm like,
show me
yep.
FinCom back.
Yeah. I should check something out here. Yeah.
It would be nice to see that aspect of it because I've never seen like how many people. What's the income and what's the expense?
Yeah.
At some point you got to look at it, from a purely ROI, return on investment
Right,
perspective,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
how much is it actually charging us for the town? And that's something that the town someday may have to make a decision about.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the pool's no good, or you can't.
If they come in with $100,000 bill to redo that pool,
Sure.
Then
You know,
it's awful to lose.
you have to think about it.
down, though.
Fill it in.
Yeah. Turn
Yep.
into a steel.
well, it could cost you. Yeah, honestly, it could cost you as much
Yeah.
to fill it in because you can't leave a big hole like that. You're liable for somebody getting hurt
Take the
too.
dirt from the compost pile across the street. You talk about.
Yeah. Well, people leave their lawn cuttings after summer there.
New gardens.
Okay. I don't know. Kathleen, anything that you want to have us take a look at or discuss? We have nothing else on our budget, so it's open for other business now.
As I said, the Whitman-Hanson preliminary numbers, I don't have anything for you tonight, but I have been in contact with Jeff, and he just needs a little bit of time for his business manager, Steve Marshall, to put some preliminary numbers together. As soon as I have anything, I'll share it at a future meeting. But the school department has to have by law, has to have a public hearing on their budget, and I believe that comes early in February, which is just around the corner. So I will stay on top of the Whitman-Hanson numbers because it's 60 million plus, and I've been doing this for 6 years now. So knowing the ins and outs of the budget, I'll be happy to make a presentation when I have some information for the committee.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Kathleen.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure how much you've been able to follow. I assume you're still following a lot, but hey, so looking at here we are, and obviously I'm looking at the draft, some of the stuff that they had at the December 17th meeting, and we've got a current deficit of 1.8 million.
Yes.
In the past, I know that override word has been thrown around, but in the past, when we were looking at stuff like this, if you remember, we were asking people to kind of do a supplemental budget, like what if we don't have this money, best case, worst case. Right now, it just, to me, it seems like everybody we've seen, they've kind of come in just with that 2.5. There haven't been too many extraordinary over asks yet on the preliminary budget from some of the department heads as in the past. So I guess, do you have a feeling on how this is gonna go? I mean, are they expecting to try to present that override to cut that deficit, and they think it's going to really work, or I don't know. What are you thinking?
My sense is, I listened to the December 17th meeting where Sean Kane made that presentation, and I would like all of the committee members, if you have the time, it makes for fascinating listening. Sean Kane has done an amazing job focusing on this budget. I actually did meet with him and Mary Beth probably 3 times between August and September to discuss the preliminary fiscal 26 budget and focusing on the schools because it is the biggest driver. But I think that having this conversation in December, meaning saying the overword ride, having 4 of the selectmen actually indicate that they are in support of it, not enthusiastic, but they realize if you have a budget that is 2.5% increases, except for, and then there's the insurance and Plymouth County and what else did I pull out? Because I did take a look at the preliminary budget, Mary Beth prepared. But you have, $300,000 in Plymouth County retirement increasing, and the town only has $800,000 in new revenue. Well, that's half your new revenue. And the life insurance, life and health insurance for the town, that went up $126,000. So there are costs that we cannot control, that they've gone up 11%, 7%, and yet all of the budget managers have submitted a 2.5% increased budget. I do have some questions about the placeholder for the schools. I know Sean had some ideas, and again, the schools get to tell us what their budget is. We don't get to tell them. But hopefully this spirit of cooperation with Jeff Simonek attending one of the select board meetings in November and then Sean attending a school committee meeting in December, that I have a sense that there's a spirit of cooperation that was missing in previous years. So it shouldn't be so contentious. And will we chip away at the $1.7 million deficit? I think we probably will. It may be increased revenues because I think they've been very conservative, they being Mary Beth and Kathy Keefe, and rightfully so, in not over-projecting, meals tax increases and so forth. So they've been conservative with the revenue, and that might come back to our benefit that we have more money coming in than we anticipated. But talking in December as opposed to last year when that vote was taken in April, like 4 weeks before the town was going to have to vote on it, which drove me nuts. I said, you can't have an override without signs, without a campaign, without yes or no signs. I don't care what you support, but you have to have the education. So we're way ahead of the fiscal 25 situation, and at least we have a chance, we being town leaders, to inform the electorate, the town's voters, what is at stake. And it's a town-wide at stake. Everyone has skin in the game. Every department will be impacted by if there's a failure to fully fund the request.
Right. That was one of the things that I was happy to at least, at this point, it was going to be town-wide, not just school.
Not just schools.
So that to me is a plus. Starting, like you said, starting at this point, this time of the year, and having it having everybody, everybody has a stake in it. So that's that'll probably get people, if they get that out there, it'll probably get people to look at things very strongly. But I'm still concerned with the VOTEC and everything, and I'm concerned with all the other stuff that's going on, that they still might have some trouble raising all that extra money.
Yeah.
Well, I think the select board is also considering, and I haven't heard any details, but instead of a 1 year override, I heard, believe it was Justin saying a 2 or 3 year override. I don't know from a detail point of view, what does that mean, Justin? But it's, how can we get through this budget crunch? And we are not alone. Virtually every town on the South Shore, if not in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, is going to be hitting the ceiling of the Prop 2.5 limit. So it's... Yep.
Okay, great. And I appreciate you giving me your thoughts there.
Okay, thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I look at here is one of the arguments last year was that the override was just for the schools. And we all know that it really wasn't, but that's the way it was pitched, which makes it difficult. But the other thing is it was good for 1 year, right? And that's my question. If we are going to look at an override, are we looking at an override to get us past our $1.7 million? That's just great. We're great for 26. You know what we're doing next year? Another override. Right? How do we fix the underlying problem? Yeah, that has to be addressed, because you can't keep going back to the town every single year and say, we got to override again.
Yeah.
You're right, Mike.
Hey, Kathleen, do you remember the
interest.
we voted on funding, I don't know, was it $40,000 from each town to do a line-by-line detailed audit of the school? Has that ever been done?
Are you talking about the Whitman Hanson audit?
Yeah.
The answer to that question, Al, is I haven't followed up recently. I know that the schools submitted the information that the Abrams group had requested.
Yeah.
I remember the name of the person in the Abrams group who's writing the report, but to the best of my knowledge, this was something that's supposed to be submitted to the town administrators and select boards. It's nothing that goes back to the schools, and
Right.
that would be a question for Mary Beth, I think.
Nothing's been done then?
Well, I know that the schools have fulfilled the requests submitted to them by the auditors. Just has the
This is
report
like
been
2 years ago, wasn't it?
It's,
Well, we toyed with, we were pushing for it. I've been on the committee 6 years now.
Yeah.
I was when I first showed up, Al. You showed up the same time.
Yeah.
We wanted it, but I don't think that the money was actually appropriated until maybe 2 fiscal years ago.
Right.
So to the best of my knowledge, no report has been submitted, but it would be the town administrators, Lisa Green and Mary Beth Carter, who would be, I believe, the recipients of that report if it exists yet.
Should we inquire about that?
I think it would be a good question to ask.
Yeah, hopefully,
No.
maybe, I don't know, we'll typically, the town administrator does show up for some of these meetings, even though we're early on, but typically they'll start to show up some here and there, so, I wonder if we'll be seeing her come in.
Be nice to see the report, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, well, we're gonna find out if it's available for,
Right.
yeah.
That's a
You know what,
problem.
I'll
That's a
ask-
problem. That's a problem because we're the finance committee. We pushed for it. We thought that was underway. Now we don't know what's going on with it.
Well, the information has been gathered.
Yeah.
Whether or not,
But nothing's been done about it, though, right?
I will ask Mary Beth tomorrow. I'll send her an email.
If they think about it, we're looking at a big budget, a big department to look at it. That's all.
yeah, it's informational though to us.
Yeah,
And
very
that's-
informational. What
we don't-
they want, we don't know what's in there. You know?
Yeah, it's exactly. We just get a big number right now, but we don't know how that is spent. But the fact is, even with the report, we can't go in and say, why don't you shift some money from this to that? That's not our place. That's the
No.
school committee's place to do.
Right.
So it's transparency for us to
Correct.
understand how the money's being spent.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to see. I mean, I said it last year, and we're coming to that point now. Coming in February, we're going to be to the point where we'll have a better knowledge about where we're going, and I think the question of will there be an override is probably a yes. There will be an attempt for an override. The question will then be, can they get one through, and what if it doesn't pass? Mm-hmm. And I remember last year we had some information to us over the last 3 years about what was budgeted, but what we never got was what was actually spent. So the recreation department is a good example tonight. I have no idea how much money they took in. I could look at it and see what they budgeted. I don't know what they actually spent. So did they stay under the budget or did they go beyond the budget? I don't know. As a finance committee member, I do not know. And I don't know how much money that they took in. So back to that ROI piece. If I have to make a decision to vote here, do we keep a police officer, a firefighter, an EMT, a teacher, or the pool? I'm just saying it because they're here tonight. I mean, I want to know where do I make that really hard decision? So
Yep.
getting that information is very hard here.
Yes.
So, all righty. Anything else? If not,
Do you want me to do my subcommittee reports?
Yeah.
oh, if you have them, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I can tell you when we're meeting. We haven't met.
Okay.
So the committee is meeting this Thursday at 5:30, and I have the technology set up thanks to Josh McNeil to be able to participate remotely. So that I'll be attending that. The Whitman Middle School Building Committee is meeting next Tuesday, January 14th at 4:30. I will be attending remotely for that meeting, and then I will have a report for not. That night I won't have much to report because I'll just be going from that meeting over to FinCom. But I will have a report on the middle school at our following meeting. And then the Regional Agreement Committee is meeting on January 15th at 4:30. And I'm not sure if I've arranged for the remote access to that committee. So I have a note here to contact Jeff Simonek tomorrow and make sure that there's the capability to phone in.
Right.
So that's the status of the 3 subcommittees that I'm serving on.
Excellent. we did get a written report from Rick Anderson, who's is not on the committee, but he is going to the Public Works to building committee meetings. So I think, is it next week? I think they have theirs, but we should see it within the next week or two. But so far he's, things are progressing as they would hope. So that's a good thing. All right.
Okay. Can I ask a question about upcoming meetings?
Yes, of course.
It's just a quick one. I know the DPW is next week, and you did hear from the Water and Sewer. Have you had a confirmation from the Highway Department that Bruce will be there?
We have not. So
Joe.
you're okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mike will take, again, we kind of touched on this beforehand, but we got to make sure if we can get him there. If not, let's
DPW is confirmed.
DPW Water and Sewer did confirm, but the Highway and Trees, so it's two people that basically run.
No,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just, from your blanket email, I didn't know if you had gotten any, so the DPW responded to that.
Right. So
Okay.
if you look at
Yeah.
the sheet that I sent out, the green ones, I'm just using a fire, what do you call it, a street light, traffic light thing, right? So right now we need DPW, Highway and Tree. We are January 28th. We haven't heard back from the Treasurer Collector. Actually, I'm not sure. I gotta recheck that one because for some reason I thought we did get a confirmation there. And then we get out to February, and we've got a bunch that I just got confirmation from the IT technology team, but we still have the council on aging, the accountant, animal control, town clerk, the conservation committee, planning board, historical commission. So those are the ones we're still waiting to hear.
And you need to schedule the police.
Yeah,
We need to-
I'll call tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll call Tracy tomorrow, and I'll call Chief tomorrow.
Yep.
Good.
So, I mean, not terrible, right? We're over 50% have responded at this point, and I think some of it is just between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People were just not really. This is not a
You
priority.
do have the police budget, correct? They sent that over?
I believe so. I shared it out with everybody.
Yeah, you got
I've
that?
seen it, yes.
Yeah, so I'll talk with them tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing as you're talking to folks is please send us even if you send it before, send us an updated one because I'm sure they've done some tweaking since then. Okay, that's it.
That's it.
All righty. So just look. So next week we are here. We've got DPW next time. That is it. We probably will have tonight's minutes to go through. And again, just looking forward to the 21st. So at the bottom of our agenda, I tried to put in all the things that we know that are coming up.
Thank you, Mike.
So
Nice job.
okay.
All right, Kathleen.
All right. We are.
Motion to adjourn?
That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
All righty. A second.
Second.
All right. Anyone opposed? No. So that is a unanimous yes. Just get it on the record that way. All right.
Here for you, Kathleen.
Okay.
Yes, nice to see you.